Welcome, greetings, and hello all. Thank you for tuning in to Lore of Warcraft, the show where we cover everything together. We experience it in a hand-holding journey. All of the lore in and out of the game, every quest, every game, every expansion, and we also do every little piece of both digital and physical media, whether that's reading, book on tape style, videos, discussions, all of it. So thank you guys. On this episode, we are going to be continuing our classic era experience. We're in Tanaris, a second run through, this time as Horde. We're pretty far in. I'd say we're probably a good 60+% of the way through the zone. So stay a while and listen as we take Gleek and Soul. This is our Tauren Shaman. I've mostly spent my time in the Elemental Tree, but now that she's getting endgame, she's been pivoting over to Resto. She's kind of a hybrid. Elemental helped us with the leveling, and we'll see how long we can maintain this build that we have, but she's been a fun character. Let's see what we have going on for us today. So we did a long episode where we did the Horde-specific quest with the field sampling. We do have to turn that into the Undercity at some point, but I'm going to wait until we have maybe a little bit more things going on. The lowest level quest we have is Noxious Lair Investigation. We look at our spreadsheet. This is another thing I provide for you guys on the comments. The spreadsheet provides everything that we have been covering on the episode together. So a walkthrough if you want to follow the steps that I do. And then the quests and order tabs are for the order if you wanted to go in order of easiest to hardest, which is the way that I do it off camera. It's a little bit more time consuming. That's why I don't do it on the show. All right, Return to Apothecary Zinj is actually technically the lowest level quest. Yeah, but we're not going to do that yet. So let's just go right with the Noxious Lair Investigation and continue our quest line of exploring, those little Silithid, those little beasts, buggies. We also have the Dunemaul Compound. If we want, we can bust that out while we're out and about. We've done every single difficult RNG, cross your fingers and hope you get lucky drop rate type of thing. So I'm happy about that. The Dunemaul Compound is kind of a one-off, so once we complete the Centipar insects parts, there's no reason why we can't also go and get the Dunemaul taken care of. It doesn't harm us. We have to kill Gormarok the Ravager. I wanted to finish this week. That's my goal. There's a chance we're going to have to really be efficient with our questing today and on tomorrow's long play episode if we want to make this work. So again, possible, but there are some difficult, tricky quests that lie ahead of us. So after we could do some of these things, we still have some questing as we continue to go back and forth with the Silithid. We have some questing that will take us into this Thistleshrub Valley, an escort that will bring us back across the zone. And we do have some questing to do in the Ungoro Crater as well. That's probably going to be saved for tomorrow. Those are kind of the capstone quests of the zone. They're the most difficult. But we are a little bit higher level. I think we finished everything at 52 when we did our Alliance run. We're already 53 and chugging along. So the Horde just has a smoother leveling curve experience. But some of it is all boiled down to RNG. Let me take a sip of my delicious coffee. Let me pause here to seek sponsorship. I'm a big coffee drinker. I drink my coffee black, no cream, no sugar. So the importance of my coffee, flavor, the quality, any little added nugs, that is of high concern in my life. So Barney's Coffee is a company I've long used. They are delicious. My wife buys boxes of it a day. And if you want to give me free Barney's Coffee, old Barney's Company, I would gladly do some ad reads. I really go through a lot of it. I go through a lot of Barney's Coffee. All right, we're going to see. I accidentally pulled the second one, but I think we're okay because this Tunneler was almost dead. You cannot skin the Centipar. But really, this is it's an old favorite. It's probably what got my wife into getting on board with drinking the Barneys. She's more of your typical Starbucks type of drinker, where she's into, her coffee tastes like chocolate milk or whatever. Like the kids like to drink it. Alright, we'll give ourselves a heal. But Santa's White Christmas is the name of this kind? Oh my gosh. Yes, I know it's not Christmas, it is April. But cannot it's just such a good... I've been on the fence though about whether or not I should quit drinking coffee. I don't know. Something to consider. Oh, we have a little... The bugs are attacking us. They are what are going to be eating up my lightning shield. I forgot. Okay, so whenever we fight these swarmers, I gotta kind of pay attention here. But the lightning shield doesn't quite do it enough. Yeah, what we need is this thing. Maybe it's this one. Jeez. I'm getting wrecked here because I have done this poorly, and then I can't even click them. Jeez, Louise, I can't even click them. I'm zoomed out too far, so that was terrible on my part. Let's go ahead and eat, drink, and be merry. Let's get some food going on. I need to cook some of those. What do we want? Let's go with the sausages, the spider sausage up there. I think it's this one. I always get these two confused. Fire Nova Totem. It will... Oh, that's the one that explodes if they don't destroy it. So it's the Magma Totem is what I really need that pulses. So that's what you need to drop when I fight the Swarmer. I just thought that was a Tunneler because their character models were so similar, and so I pulled them that way. But that was not my best idea. I should have also drank while I was sitting down. But so we've killed 3 guys, and I guess that's cool. We've had no drops, but out of these 3 guys that we're killing. So this is, I mean, the XP is decent. These guys are level 48. We're 53, so still in the collecting XP range for them. But yeah, a lot of the Kalimdor, I've talked about this before, a lot of the Kalimdor quests really start funneling us toward the finale of Kalimdor, which is, there we go, we got our first parts, which is building up to the Old God Infestation. If you look at the zones, you know, Winter, Spring, I don't remember what the storylines are driving you up that way, but sure, and there's some stuff at the Fellwood that's really more about the demonic influences, but that's a more legacy demonic influence. I don't think it's necessarily forward-looking to the Burning Crusade type of stuff. There we go, we got a second Cinnabar part. 2 out of 5. We only need 5, so even if the drop rate is not the best, we'll be fine. Then, yeah, all this stuff down here as you go into Ungoro and beyond, that's all leading us up to Ahn'Qiraj, which is a big part. The Eastern Kingdoms is a little bit more focused. I don't remember where Naxx spawns in the world in Classic, but Naxx is basically what you're ultimately building up to, but via the Plaguelands and Stratholme. So there is Blasted Lands as well, so you do have some lead up to Burning Crusade, and then you also have a lot of lead up to the battle against Arthas and everything that he left behind at this stage, because that's really where they ultimately want to go. I wonder what their vision was when they made the game. They were really that forward thinking to imagine that the game would have enough traction. And can you just imagine being at the first like drop of World of Warcraft and wondering like, is this game going to be a success? Cray cray. All right, so here's a Swarmer. I'm going to pull this Swarmer over here. Pull him back to my stuff, and when I get back closer to it, I'll drop the Magma Totem. That's the one I need. I gotta remember. Yeah, so that sound indicates that he is See, yeah. That's what you need to do, is just keep that thing going, because it will destroy his swarms. Yeah, just is so much more. You just have to have something. If you're a paladin, you can have Consecrate. I've talked about this too. Sand Reaver. Come here, you little Sand Reaver. Let me have it. I would like to be able to skim these guys. But yeah, this is a pretty cool... I like that there are these through-line storylines. There is really cool lore in this game. I like it a lot. There's a tie-through. Now, there's argument about whether the quality of the lore has decayed over the years, and that's valid to consider, and there's also some of that nostalgia built in, like these original storylines just hit so nice because we loved them when they came out. Alright, I need to both eat and drink. Do I have any just neutral food I can eat? No, but I can drink one of my juices, my moonberry juice. I'll drink some of that. This is the downside of fighting these things, too. You're not getting any resources. They're not dropping anything useful. They're just, you know, a resource drain. Hard for sustainable, especially a shaman. That's the downside of shaman life, as I'm sure you guys all know. They're the least sustainable, least mana-friendly class. I guess if you really wanted to think about like pros and cons of... Look at all of these things. No? Oh, he took down my... That's the other thing I hate about these stupid swarmers. They take down your totems. I guess if I wanted to think about the cons of each class in Classic, because that's different if we're thinking about retail versus Classic. I would say for Warriors, it's the complete lack of like sustainability in terms of like health. It's very slow when you're soloing it. Very slow class, no healing whatsoever. It's so dependent upon bandages and stuff like a ridiculous. It's a ridiculous. It makes it very unenjoyable to play solo for me. I'd try it again. A lot of the times, that's me, and I find that if I give it a shot, again with a different mindset, or not, I guess not a lot of the time, but I think I'm finding that with Hunter right now. So Hunter has long been my least favorite class to play, pretty much forever. And I mean, actually, I really used to not like Druid very much. Now Druid's one of my favorite classes in Classic. I hated Hunter, like I said, for a long time, and now I'm playing it in Anniversary, and I'm really having a good time. It takes a lot of work, but it's a powerful class. Alright, so yeah, why not? Just for fun, as we kill these guys, let's talk about some of the elements that make it hard. So for Warriors, it's definitely that sustainability piece, the fact that like you are gonna go into a fight and you have whatever's on your back, not your skills, you have whatever it is, maybe some bandages or whatever. That is what you're going for. Like, if you can make it through the fight, that's almost going to be determined before the fight is started. So, that's... because there's very little you can do to get out of a fight. Can't escape. You just gotta make it work. So potions, engineering, bandages, like, all these different things... you got to really think about maximizing all of that. Unless you're playing with someone else. It's the ideal class to play if you have a partner who is a healer. Paladins. I guess the downside of a paladin, what gets a lot of people, is the lack of like versatility with the moves. The fact that it's such a vanilla, like the rotation is so easy. It's just not a very engaging rotation to play. I still have a fine time with the paladin, but yes, you're just rinsing, repeating the same thing. And that can be appealing to some and whatever. They can be effective. They're not bad to play, but things like that, it just makes how you're using gear and stuff that much more important. So I would say the rotation and play style when playing Paladin is probably a top complaint. And then people tie that to like the efficiency of the class or whatever. There we go. We got all 5 parts, so we can get out of here. Finally. Alright, now let's go fight the Dunemaul while we're here. We'll try to do at least one other thing each time we make a journey out, because the Centaur questline is going to take us through the rest. And then let's talk about, well, we're looking at Shaman. That's the lack of sustainability for mana. It's so mana intensive that you've got to be prepared somehow to constantly be managing your resources and or having tons of water. You got to drink a lot. That's the #1 complaint for a Shaman. So #1 complaint for a warrior, they are a very, very difficult class to solo with. #1 complaint for a paladin, very boring, simplistic, and possibly not very super effective. Not a lot of utility, yada, yada, yada. Although, I don't know. I guess the utility is not really the argument, because they can heal and they can res pretty easily. And mana is, for Shaman, they're slow, they're mana intensive. Alright, Hunter. What is the problem with Hunter? Well, I would say Hunters are generally considered in Classic one of the more OP classes. But I think it's so dependent. First of all, they're tied to ammo. People don't really complain about that, and I guess it's not. It's just one little tiny wrinkle of annoyance. I would say the worst thing about Hunters in Classic is that it requires such a ridiculous amount of research and training and effort to actually maximize. You're not just going to your trainer every 2 levels and boom, you're better. Like, you have to be the pet training game is real. Okay, we're killing Dunemaul brutes right now is where I started. We need 21 guys, 10 brutes, 10 enforcers, and the leader, Gormarok the Ravager. I'm just killing guys as I see them. So I'd say that's a legit, real concern for Hunters. The fact that you have to go out of your way to really manage your pet and know what you're doing. That's a real thing, and I don't think it should be understated, because it's so real that it's the difference between Hunters being absolutely terrible, which has always been my experience, to now when I'm really doing that, like, it feels like perhaps one of the most OP classes I've ever played with, and I'm like, oh, this is why people like this class so much. But other than that, they're pretty good. Like, there's not a lot to complain about. They don't have a lot of healing, sure, but they have that pet, which they can heal the pet, and it really mitigates that whole thing. They're not fighting in melee a lot, so that helps with the mana. That helps with the life sustainability. Okay, what about rogues? Rogues are also they're in a similar boat to warriors, where they're just hard to solo. They at least have a lot of stuns. They have a lot of saps. They have, you know, vanish. They have sprint. They have ways, feint. They have things to get out of trouble, both when they're in and out of party group compositions. What they don't have is, oh, my things are gone. My pile of ogres. They don't have the healing either, like the warrior, and they don't have the hardiness and durability. So I guess what I would say is their weakness, their flaw, is that when you have to go toe-to-toe, there's no evasion, none of that. When that's not an option to get you through, like you just have to fight a hard elite, you're screwed. So soloing or going toe-to-toe with the toughs, they are not a one-on-one survivable, so they are hard to solo the game with as well, for different reasons than the warrior. But they have basically the same, perhaps even... Now, they have lots of things that make up for it. Stealth is great. They have really good damage. You know, they have lots of different things. They just don't have... Their ability to solo the game is probably the worst among all. So, not just the worst, nearly impossible. So, they make up for it with tons of utility. They definitely have their redeeming qualities. I love rogues. Love them. They'd be hardline conversation for them being my favorite class. Definitely from like an RP perspective, they're my favorite. Just think they're so cool. But yeah, a lot of similar complaints for that. And I've had this talk before, but I think I'm just trying to have it from a different angle this time. Druids. I guess what would be the... I mean, the common one for the druid is like jack of all trades, master of none. I guess the biggest complaint for the druid would be that endgame druids, like the leveling experience, the fun of playing them, what they can do, they are tops in the game. They're just great. But the biggest complaint would be endgame. They're not the best healer in the game. Their DPS is not even close to being the best in the game. Uh-oh, my stuff wore off. Oh. Yeah, so I had an issue last time I played where when they had the last update Tuesday, where it was like, this issue came up that said, I mean, let's see. I'm not having a lot of latency right now. It says it may be slowing the game down, but I'm not noticing anything in the game being slowed down. Whoops, I don't want to kill that ogre. My problem is that I am having issues. The latest update really like screwed up my system. There's something in my mods are not playing nice with each other. LVUI is not playing nice with, I'm not sure what. I don't know if it's Questy. Probably it's Questy, because it's not going to be voiceover. So Questy and LVUI, but everybody uses those two mods. So I just think it's crazy that I'm not hearing lots of people complaining about the same thing. All right, we've done all of our brutes. Now we just need 9 more enforcers. But every time my mouse touched something in the game, it created a pop-up error. And I could not figure out how to fix it. And I tried uninstalling and reinstalling my mods. All that good stuff just wasn't working. Just a disappointment. And what I ended up doing was going into the lines of code within LVUI, or within LVUI, and turning off the changing a 1 to a 0 so that when I have a Lua error, it does not pop up on my screen anymore. So that was useful. Because the game, there's nothing wrong with the game. It just is anytime I hover, my mouse came across anything that's set up by LUI. So anything over here, any of my push buttons, any of the maps, any of my bars, anything, the little arrow would pop up, which makes the game unplayable. So I just made it stop doing that. And now that's the first time I've had this setup where it's like, bro, you're having a lot. Oh, whatever. It is what it is. I guess if it actually does create problems, what I'll do is just drop the whole game out. And I was getting this before where once or so a session I would get an error, like, or if I hovered over the map, like little things like that. I love LVY, but it is what the heck? I just got a purple Black Skull shield. Five stamina, 10 spirit, so it's a 15 point, 30 block, 10 shadow resistance. That is dope. I gotta look that up. Let's post this too. Let's look up Black Skull Shield and see if this is worthwhile or if this is just something I can try to put on the AH. Any comments? This is the second most rarest shield drop. The trouble is for its rareness and its price. It looks nothing special. Hopefully this will sell. First epic I've ever gotten. Me too. I think this is my first epic too. This said I've seen it drop 4 times. I've never had it. Nobody really says a lot about it. Yeah, just where I got mine. Yeah, they're saying around... Yeah, that's... I mean, it's cool. I guess I will just look at it. I mean, maybe I can sell it for something, you know. It's a rare. I'll put it on the auction house. I'll double check first that it's not like best in slot or something like that. It's not going to be. It's a level 40 shield. Just looking at the stats. Kind of monster walks around with his pet on aggressive. That's kind of funny. Alright, so that was pretty cool though. You guys got to see me get my first, I think that's probably my first epic that came off of a random drop. So that's pretty cool. And you guys saw it here first on Lore of Warcraft. This is why we experienced the journey together. Okay, so let's think about what we want. Or let's continue thinking about the downsides of every class, because I like that. Yeah, I guess the only thing, like I was saying, the only thing I can think about as a downside for Druid is just that end game, they taper off. No one's playing balanced. That's what they like to call a meme spec, so you don't do that. Feral, you hear both. They're pretty solid tanks. But not the best tanks, because warriors are, you know, Daddy Supreme in the tank world at in-game raid levels. We gotta go to that cave, so I guess I'll make my way over there as we look for our last 4 enforcers. There's another enforcer. What else? Okay. And then that leaves the 3 clothies. Mages. What's a bad thing about a mage? I think mages are universally considered the most broken classic class. I mean, they have sustainability. They have, I'm gonna set up shop again right here. They have sustainability. They have... So they have some kind of form of healing. They have that water. They have great utility. Fantastic. Arguably tied for the best utility in the game. Sure, they can't heal, but they're not a melee class, so their need for healing is really a lot lower. And they have a lot of shielding that they can do. So that's not really the issue that it might otherwise appear. They can do great AoE. They're pretty solid on the single target. I'm truly trying to think of what's the downside of playing mage. They can solo most content in the game. I need one more enforcer. Look at this guy right here. And then we're going into the cave. Actually, there might be an enforcer. No, looks like he's probably by himself. Alright, so that's it. I can't think of it. Mage might be like S-class in the game. Because there's just no real downside. They have the utility. They have the movement. They have a resource regeneration model that's really good. They have tons of ways to mitigate that. They have great AoE. They have pretty solid single target. They have flexibility by changing between fire and frost. I guess if we're really going to reach here, the downside would be that everybody plays mage. Like, every freaking person is dropping mages. Rolling mages, I mean. That's all I can really... That's all I got for you. They're just... And they're like... the king of the spammers. Like, they're the carries, the gold selling, they are just infesting. They infest the ecosystem because of all that skill they have. That's all of the pros. That's the only thing I can really see is that they're like unoriginal, and they have good crowd control with polymorph. I really don't know. Alright, so we're about half an hour into this episode, which that's going to be anywhere from 1/3 to 1/4 of the way through, and we've done two medium quests. I'm going to go turn these bad boys in, and then see where we'll go from there. My guess is we're probably going to hit up we'll do the next part of the Centaur. Oh, we have to do our homing robot also. We can go do that too. So we have to do the homing robot. I think we're going to have to go in here to rescue some dude. And so while we're doing here this time, we'll do the homing robot quest to go along with it. That'll be the next pair that we do. It's an escort. We should be okay. Might want to buff up a little bit. Oh, I have some... God, I have some stuff to turn in. I really, truly do. Yeah, we have lots of... we have stuff to do once we start traveling the world. Faux show. Alright, so my guess is we can probably do that in the next half hour, so we'll get those pair done. The finding and the turning in. And then if we keep looking, we already did the super eggomatic. I love that. That'll be done. The insect part analysis, this is going to kind of go back and forth, but we have to do Scrimshank Redemption first. So this whole clutch will come right here. Rise of the Silithid is going to want us to travel again. So is the rescue of OOX. So we have some traveling coming up in our future. Thirsty Goblin requires some traveling too. In Good Taste. I want to at least, before we start traveling, I want to get up to this In Good Taste Thirsty Goblin secret ingredient. So I want to do where we go down to Thistleshrub. Person says, I love how looking for group is Global Baron's chat. Yeah, and then people are just talking about, I don't know, ridiculous.
Talk to me. Welcome to Tanaris.
I will talk to you, sir.
How can I be of service to you?
Not selling that. That sells for 2 gold. No.
But I know how looks can be.
I will sell this Staff of Lore, which sells for more than the legendary that I just found. In terms of, like, I'm going to keep these cured ham steaks because I'm actually going to eat them. I'm gonna be a cow that eats ham steaks. Alright, let's turn in Noxious Lair investigation.
I got in need of some alchemy supplies, are we? Or do you have other business with me? Have a good one.
You're Junior Surveyor Gleek and Soul? Yes? Quickly now, there's a dire situation at hand. You have the insect parts that Fizzledowser said you would?
Good work. I'll start my analysis on these now. I can tell you right from the start, though. These are nothing like any insect form I have ever seen. It's almost as if these bugs are being controlled by an outside force or something. You need to go talk to Fizzledowser right away. Apparently there is an emergency that he needs your help with on the double. I'm not sure, but I think it involves more of the bugs in the Tanaris Desert.
Alright, so he's just ending that, but it has opened up a quest across the way. But we just completed Noxious Lair investigation, so that's another one. Ding dong, done. Cool. Okay, and then we're gonna open up whatever he just said. What is it? Oh, back this guy over here. Fizzledowser. So now he's gonna give us the Scrimshank Redemption.
Oh, this is just terrible. I sent out my top assistant, Junior Surveyor Scrimshank, into the desert southeast of here. That's an area we call the Gaping Chasm.
Ugh.
He's gone missing, and his last report had more of those weird bugs where he was. Could it be that they've infested 2 major regions of the desert now? I need you to head into the Gaping Chasm and look for Scrimshank, please. That, or at least find his surveying equipment. That may be all that is left of the poor sod.
Spoiler, it is, because that's the goal, to bring back... It's like giving you a spoiler right in the quest description, where the objective of the quest is to bring back his missing equipment. That's a dead giveaway. That homeboy didn't make it. Alright, let's go pick up the Dunemaul Compound. When we do our traveling around the world, which is, I think, how we're going to kick off the next episode... this person was like, you're the reason why there's instructions and what and have shampoo. I had to say something, but they're like, you're the reason why people have instructions on shampoo bottles, and then the person's like, oh, hold on, guys, I gotta go break the bad news to my kids that I can no longer just grab the shampoo and wash their hair. And I just was like, why are you washing your kids' hair?
I'm so glad you were able to do this for me, adventurer. Thanks for your help.
I'm so... okay. And now I have everybody coming after me. They're like, wow, really? It's okay. Alright, the shoulder pads, if we pick this up, this is going to give us like 21. That's a tie, but we just lose a bunch of armor, so not worth it. The gloves are also a tie, but we'd lose armor, so we're just going to pick that up. That's it. That was the Dunemaul Compound. So let's click that one off. No, I didn't expect people to be like, everyone rushing to this guy's defense. I just thought it was funny, the idea that... Oh my gosh. What? Like every single person, everybody is like attacking me. Man, did you really ask that? You are not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like literally, like 10 different people have just come at me. They are serious in here about this defense of this guy washing his kid's hair. I just feel like when you have plural, like how, I mean, sure, I guess you're washing your kid's hair for a little bit of time. I'm not even gonna back. I'm not backing off. I think this is now I know. Don't jump in the chat pool. Apparently there's a mob. There's a mob ready to defend washing the kids' hairs. So let me be the person, the barometer. There's I don't know how you can generalize this message as a cautionary tale, but I guess it is be prepared. I just thought it was funny to say, why are you washing your kids' hair? Like it was as though they had older kids, but apparently that sort of humor is not tolerated in Looking for Group, so keep it to yourself. There's my general. There's my general. Obviously, I know that you have to wash your younger baby children's hair with the no tears shampoo situation. I did raise 4 kids. Okay, so there you go. Enough of that. That was my bad. I got dirty. I jumped into the pool and then I came out dirty. That happens sometimes. Not every joke's gonna land. You know, this is what comedians, when they go on tour, not to say that I'm a comedian, but they try their material out. And here would be an example of I tried out a joke and it was panned. It was universally panned. So I got some work to do on that one. All right. Here we go. Gaping Chasm. This is the Hazali, different group of mobs. Not the same one we had before. The other ones were the Centaur. So now this is like a little different tribe, but they are, maybe they look like they're about 1 level higher on average. And we need to go into the Gaping Chasm. I'm going to just keep it. I'm going to keep my jokes to myself. This is where we're going. And inside here, we're going to be looking for dudes' tools, because that's what it says. Find Scrimshank's surveying gear, which means Scrimshank probably didn't make it, guys. Sorry. We're going to start with fighting a tunneler. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and drop a little bit of totems because I see a swarmer coming out. That will join this fray in just a moment. At that point in time, I'm going to need these magma. Yep, there you go. Now I'm dropping the magma on top of it because this stupid swarms. Oh, they just took the magma out. Again, he's just killed 3 magmas in a... I'm now having to drop a 3rd one in a row. That's annoying. Now I've got his attention. Running out of mana. Okay. Running low on mana here. These little Hazalis are a little bigger. Alright, I guess I didn't have my mana dropped, or they killed that too, or something. I don't know. Not really gonna go in yet. I mean, I'm not gonna stop for Whatever resources. Alright, so we kind of have to go around this bend in the road. Don't do it. He was tempted. That worker wanted to come right for my stone skin totem. This might be a character like later on in the game where I'm actually going to be forced to buy refreshments. Try to not have to do that. But... Oh, don't run. What are you doing? It's terrible. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let's get another spider sausage going. And I'll drink a moonberry juice. Because I'm a gummy bear. I'm going to drink it. Drinking in real life, too. Get ourselves going. Now, the good thing is I don't think we really have to fight. This is not really a... This is just a survive, make your way down into the hive, and come back out. There's not like a deeper challenge or anything like that. You just got to make your way through. Just be fine going into the bowels of the Hazali. Tunneler, I should be okay. Just fighting, moving on. Not even dropping totems on this one. Just keep my buffs up. My life up. Now, there could be a pat that comes from behind in the next 30 seconds that comes and chases me down because I dared leave those totems up. But price that will... Oh, he dropped a little parasite on death. He dropped 2. Interesting. Okay, so as we walk around, here we go. We got another... What is this one called? A Sand Reaver. We fought a couple of those before. There's some Mithril. My chair is slowly sinking. I really got to go buy some PVC pipe to fix my problems. So yeah, there's online you'll see it described as a butterfly-shaped room. So that's all I see when I look at it. Oh, and these stupid parasites. But I guess that's a common theme, the parasites that come out of them. Because we're trying to get to the idea that there's like an infection going on here. Something that is causing these bug creatures to go crazy. Bugs gone wild. What are the point of his tiny little wings? Let's be real. Is that like he's overclocking and they're little cooling fans for himself? And here we have Parasite. I don't want to fight the... Ah, I drew it. Dang it. A Hazali Wasp is coming my way. And we're almost into the butterfly room, and then we're going to have to fight our way back out. I don't think you need to do anything else in this hive. Maybe you were looking for mine goods. I don't know if there's a second exit. Ah, the stupid parasites. Little busters. Okay, we'll go... Oh. Worker right there. Try to pull him a little bit here. I have a feeling I'm going to be having to fight more than one. Oh, great. Yep, he came and drew his friend. That's a swarmer. Wait. They got my stone skin totem too. Stupid. Idiots. Alright. But having to fight 2v1 like this immediately put me in... my swarm killer is about to be gone. And he's just summoned one. Come on. Ah, and there's a little swarm he got too. Come on. Jeez. Okay. guess I'll be drinking. I guess I'll wait and see if I need to. Yeah, I gotta get to that right there. There's his tools. What is that? That's a tunneler. So I can just fight him 1v1, I guess. I'm gonna pull him over to my totems at least. That will help make this fight a little more sustainable. He's already... So that's one big difference is these guys and their parasites. Every single one drops a couple parasites on death. That's a big difference between the Centaur and the Hazali. I don't even see the dead dude. It's just tools are here. Okay, so we got his surveying gear. Now we can make our escape. And then on the way back to town, we're also going to do our Find Robot Chicken since we're in the neighborhood. And that will get us, probably will be right around the hour mark. So around halfway, maybe a little more, more than halfway through what we want to do. I think I came around this side. I'm trying to go beat the respawn, although I will probably have one or two that have respawned. They respawn so fast in these tunnels. So far so good though. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Not to fight that swarmer. Let's see what happens. Okay, I did aggro this guy. Fine. Sand Reaver again. His overclock cooling wings. I guess that's what they do. They cleave. That's their main thing. So these guys are specialists against fighting if you come in with a group. I guess a group of melee specifically. So this week I did drop a couple episodes. I dropped a couple shorts. I'm going to try, like I said before, I want to try and get the content back up to the level we were getting before in terms of quantity. You know, the quality on this show. I can't, you know, even if you're a long-time viewer, I've been rocking the same mediocre level of quantity for years. Maybe I will get better. We'll see. But let's not hold our breath. But in terms of quantity, I've definitely produced at much higher rates in the past, and I would like to get somewhere back. So it wasn't as long, but at least I put a second short out because I wanted to get at least one more episode out. I don't. It's just, you know, I can give excuses all I want, but you know, I gotta get the content out. I don't know how I've reached a point in my life where it just feels like I don't have the amount of time. So I got to change some balance. All right, you appear to have uncovered the wreckage of a robotic chicken. The voice from within the egg crackles to life again. Yes, excellent work. This is indeed my homing robot, though my sensors indicate that it needs a jump start before it can fly back to Booty Bay for repairs. Go ahead and place the beacon inside the rover. The beacon will take care of the rest. You place the egg distress beacon inside the chicken homing robot. Hums and whirs are heard from inside the robot as it struggles to stand up. After the robot comes to life, Oglethorpe's voice is heard once more, but now from inside the robot. OOX-17TN is working at least, but it needs major repairs. It is much too heavy for you to carry it, but I think I have an idea. Are you up for watching over it some more? Okay, so this is going to be the find OOX, and then the drop, the protect him or whatever. So we've completed now the find. The gnome's voice crackles once again from the robot. I need to move OOX-17TN to an open, safe place so it can begin a lengthy takeoff procedure. It has built-in cloaking, but I need time on my end to make it operational again. I need you to escort the robot from its current location to, let's say, Steamweedle Port. That should be a perfect place and long enough to get things online. Escort it safely to the port and then come talk to me in Booty Bay. Oglethorpe, Upnonicus, out. Emergency power activated. Initializing ambulatory motor. Luck. I wonder how you'd really want to interpret it. Alright, this is an easier... In my mind, this is... I don't know, it's tough to say if this is the easiest one. It has one tricky fight in the beginning as you go kind of through the mountain passes over here. As you get close to this mountain pass, there's a tricky spot where 3 scorpions spawn, and ads are usually likely. So, tough to kind of sort of deal with that, but after that, there's a battle with some Wastewander bandits. It's just not really that hard. Although, sure, it has potential to be bad, because I think there might be 4 of them. Maybe. It's 3 or 4. Either way, it's just... The Wastewander bandits aren't that bad. Okay. Here this guy is refreshing my stuff so we can stay full, but yeah, other than that, I mean, you're traveling across the desert. The Hinterlands one is tricky because the first battle with the Wildkin, there's just always room for ads. And ads are what really make these tricky. The Feralis one has much less chance for ads when you fight it. But so if we look here, we just have to be careful because this guy's going to go. This is where we're going to spawn, and most likely we're going to get an ad. Okay. We just got a stinking ad. So I need to kind of take... Gosh. So I just got another ad. Let's go through. I have no potions, I think. I mean, I have some life potions. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. This is terrible. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I should have cleared the ads beforehand. I really, truly don't know what I'm gonna do. Gosh. Jeez. Ah. Okay, I did some reincarnation. But he's probably screwed. The chicken's gonna probably die. Okay. Oh, he died. I can't believe that thing kept threat on him. Okay, so I just used everything. I used my reincarnation. So the only thing I can do is run back as fast as I can, and maybe these couple... What really got me was there was too many ads. Could not do it. I don't care about skinning. This is about speed now. Yeah, there's too much poison, too. Gosh, that's terrible. Okay, so I'm not skinning that. We're running out of here as fast as we can to go get back and get this chicken. That was just rough. Okay, so try it again. Yikes, big fat wolf on that one. So, what could I do? Maybe if I drank some of this night fin soup this time instead, might help me a little bit. And then, of course, drink of water as we go. Oh, we gotta get ready to roll. Okay, so I'm gonna... Actually, I'll go with this again, and we'll drink this water, and then get started and just see what we can see. So that first part is tricky. I just couldn't. There was too many ads because I added an extra scorpion and then I added the hyena. But I think we can get back there before those guys respawn. So on time 2 here, should be able to be more effective. We shall find out. Has anyone seen Tuga? Now I don't have my reincarnation to bail me out either. See, that guy's still there. Now maybe we'll get like this guy, but I feel like I could handle 3v1. Could handle 3v1 on those dudes. I felt like the poison thing was good. Okay, I gotta be real careful. If he pulls 1, that's not a big deal. He did, he just pulled 1. I can't tell. It says that I have my Wind Fury buff on. Yeah. Oh. Now it's showing the time on it. Now I'll go for some leather working. Okay. That one I didn't even loot. Grab 1. So this should be easier because there's no ads. Oh, look, it didn't go. They didn't respawn. So I guess it's been short enough that they didn't respawn. That's cool. So we just got through that fight for free. That by virtue of maybe having one still dead there. That's cool. Okay. Alright, now we will still have to survive the second fight. And I'll do the skinning a little more this time. These quests are a pain. Can't believe I died on that. I should have tried, I guess, to clear the mobs a little more. It's just tricky when you try to pre-clear the mobs with this, then the chicken will often start walking ahead, making it more annoying. And sometimes causing you to fail. Rogues benefit more than underclasses do when it comes to 9+% hit. Okay. Oh yeah, we never finished our talk about the downsides. I had gotten to Mage and that derailed me. Priest downside would be, I guess, just lack of DPS. It's not very effective. Even as a Shadow Priest, they're just not effective. They're the worst DPS class in the game. So, I mean, other than that, it's fine though. They're good at healing and they're fine for soloing. I don't particularly love them, but they have potential. You know, sometimes they grow on me. But I guess that would just be the biggest downside for Priest is outside of their existence as ultimate healers, there's not a lot going on for the role. And they're not even necessarily the best healers in the game. They're just good at it. And they have a... Oh, man, now I'm stuck. Oh, thank goodness. Big Voodoo Pants? Cool. Well, I don't have that. I have Big Voodoo Mask, I think. That's pretty cool. I'll learn how to craft the big voodoo pants now. Yeah, so this stupid thing is going to just aggro random mobs across the desert. Supposedly, I did read one person who said that they took Tuga, and then Tuga will also help you fight. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how effective that strategy really is, but I did read in a comment somewhere where they're like, yeah, just take Tuga with you. Like, okay. Don't know. Maybe that would help. So if you have a little bit... If you have a little bit of, like, if you're having trouble with this, soloing it because you're not over leveled, you could try that as a strategy. I feel like it's worth exploring. Oh man. Okay, so I am throwing everything at these two, which is not what I wanted to do, because we're going to fight our real fight soon. And this guy's already on the move. Like, I can't even skin. Annoying piece of junk. Guess I'm going to heal, though. Okay, now my mana's low. Well, not low, but... less than in a less than ideal situation. Physical threat is detected. Evasive action. Alright, so once it gets to the coast here, it'll walk up the coast and then it will start getting us in the ballpark of the where we have our other fight, which is the Waste Wander fight. Same deal. If you can avoid, luckily, it looks like people have just been killing rogue Waste Wander people in the area, which is going to reduce our chance for ads. We just don't want ads. That is what can bring down any OOX quest. Is ads. Now here's some dudes, please don't aggro my chicken. Why is this chicken idiotically running close to that camp? I don't know. Yeah, so I think as you get near somewhere around here, so a little bit away from those, luckily, this is where this fight is going to spawn. It's a special kind of Waste Wander. You'll get a couple different kinds, but pretty sure... Okay. Oh, don't get him. Jeez. So that was dangerous because they were freaking... They're keeping going after my chicken. So that's scary. Furious Falchion of the Monkey. Okay, well, I don't know what this dude's running off for. Why my chicken's got to go ahead of me. Okay, what's that? A sword. 5 agility, 5 stam. Not the worst sword I've ever seen. But we can't use swords. Alright, so that's pretty much it. We might fight like a mob if we fight one more, but we got through it. So that was only 3. Even the Shadow Mage didn't have a Void Walker, I don't think. That came with him. I didn't see one. So it's not too shabby. Yeah, there's another Scorpid right there, so we might end up fighting something along the... But nothing that should give us any problems. Yeah, Scorpid looks like he wants to come fight my chicken. Stay away from my chicken. Stay away from my chicken, you piece of poo-poo. If you complete all 3, you'll get a chance to get your own chicken. Ah, the hyena wants my chicken. You little so-and-so. Alrighty. Alright, so this quest won't actually be, like, turned in, but, you know, we put in our work on this. This one's done, then we can go turn in the Scrimshank Redemption quest after this, and we have been working for a little over an hour, so that's good. We have time definitely for at least one more session of things. We'll go looking to see what the next steps on the Centaur part is, but I think maybe we'll do the rest of our time with the Thistleshrub. My key strokes are off today in this area, which would also mean we would wrap up with Tuga, escorting Tuga across the desert. That one's a little annoying, but... Cloaking systems online. Engaging cloak for transport to Booty Bay. Okay, so we did that. We have successfully rescued the chicken a second time. Third time's the charm. That means we also have to travel back to Booty Bay. So right now we need trips to Booty Bay, and we need trips to Undercity. And we're going to also eventually need to go to the Hinterlands. So we're going to plan all of that for the next episode. We will kick off our next episode with all the traveling needed. Yeah. So it'll be a travel heavy. So I'll plan some talking points to start our episode off. Yeah, I felt like I had some good, minus the first episode of the week where I was really processing, you know, some sad things that happened this week. Felt like I had a couple good episodes, but the viewership maybe didn't 100% agree. We'll see where we go. Anyone need to kill Weldon Barov at the boss? Cody Rhodes. I don't know if Cody Rhodes is a famous person, but if not, then what are you just putting your name? What are they riding on? Just a skeletal horse, huh? Most of the time you see the cooler looking ones. Alright.
Talk to me.
Well, what news do you have? You look like you've been in quite the fight. Is Scrimshank alive?
He was a good goblin, young Scrimshank. Let's hope that his demise was not in vain by what he was able to record with his surveying equipment. It seems as though we have quite the situation on our hands here with these bugs. They're way too cunning for their own good, and the research we've done so far is shaping up to indicate that they might even be under the controlling influence of a third party. If this is the case, then it bodes ill for not only Gadgetzan, but the whole desert. I'm going to spend some time taking a look at Scrimshank's surveying gear, as well as putting his personal effects in order. I get the sneaking feeling behind my ears that this isn't the last loss we'll be facing against these bugs. I'd like for you to check in with Alchemist Pestlezug to see if he has had a chance to process the insect parts we sent him. If they're ready, bring them to me.
Okay, so Scrimshank Redemption is now done. That's a good one. And then he's going to open us up to insect part analysis. This is just a kind of a back and forth. So, pretty easy, standard fare. Okay, we're just going to go walk over and talk. So we'll get a couple quests added to the checking off the box quest log thing here.
Time is money, friend.
Yes, I have the results right here. They are unsettling, to say the least. Our initial suspicion that the bugs are being controlled by an outside force, we believe, is correct. If this is the case, then we are dealing with not only a very powerful unknown force, but also a malignant one. These bugs have been changed to be pure ravagers. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Okay.
Senior Surveyor Fizzledowser needs to see this report immediately. Actually, everyone who can read needs to see this report. We are facing a grave and serious threat to not only Tanaris and Gadgetson, but if left unchecked, the entirety of southern Kalimdor. Heck, even quite possible the whole of Azeroth. This thing has given no indication it will subside. Have Fizzledowser make a duplicate of the report for you to distribute freely to your allegiance. Everyone must know about this threat.
That's because they can go to Alliance or Horde. That's why they are talking like that to your allegiance. Okay, so that one's checked right off.
Be good.
And we're just going to walk right back over to him. A little back and forth. Pop, pop, pop. Bada bing, bada boom. And I don't think we can read the report. Yeah, if you look at it. Well, Junior Saint Surveyor Gleekensole, has old Pestlezug got that report ready yet?
Thank you for delivering the report, Junior Surveyor Adventurer. Here is your pay for your diligent service to the Gadgetson Water Company. While I am usually not thrilled about handing out our valuable information carte blanche to those who would otherwise pay good coin for it, I have known Pestlezug for a number of years now. If he recommends letting everyone know about it, then so be it. Give me a moment and I'll make you a copy. Here's your report. I urge you to take it to someone who might have working knowledge in this kind of thing. I know this troll scholar named Zilzibin Drumlore. He spent a lot of time studying life forms that are unique to the ecology of Azeroth. He's a historian to boot. If you want someone to help figure out what exactly this threat is and how to stop it, give this report to him. We're going to need all the help we can get. Zil lives in a house on the second tier of the Drag in Orgrimmar.
Okay. So, again, I don't think we can read the report. Nope. But insect compartment analysis part 2 is done. Yeah, we completed that. We completed it here. And then that gives us Rise of the Silithid. Silithid? And so that's just going to send us to Orgrimmar as we continue traveling around. All right, let's go sell some things. And then we're going to get our next mission on, which, like I said, is going to send us... So now we don't have a bug part of our mission. So let's just work on the Laden Dewgland and the Thistleshrub dudes. And on the way, we're going to take Tuga on the way back.
Welcome to Tanaris.
Oh, actually, before we do this, we can learn this Big Voodoo Pants.
Like a blacksmith
Cool.
to me, but I know how looks can be deceiving.
Sell some of this other junk. Sell some of that. Okay, perfect. All right. So here we go now. Back to Thistleshrub Valley. And then we're going to finish it up by doing Tuga. This will probably be the last of what we do today. So we're going to clear out this valley, then escort Tuga across the desert. And that will set us up for some hearthing and traveling. We'll start with Orgrimmar. We will, on the next episode, we'll start by being in Orgrimmar, and we'll turn in the quest in Orgrimmar. Maybe we'll do that today. We'll see on time. And then we will take the Zeppelin over to the Undercity, and in the Undercity, we're going to actually see right now we have to go to... So we'll turn in that quest in the Undercity. Then we'll fly over to the Hinterlands, where we will complete the Sprinkles secret quest thing. And then we will fly all the way down to Booty Bay. A little bit of a flight, so we'll chat while we do that. Turn in the chicken. And then we will go back through our Hearthstone again. We'll go back to Orgrimmar and fly. Actually, you know what? No, we don't have to do that. Because for some reason I thought we had to go Thunder Bluff. We'll see where we're at, but we'll go back over. I guess we'll just take the boat. Oh, because we have to turn in Tabitha's task. We have to do that while we're traveling around too. We've got quest set up for Zul'Farrak. So we could start working on that also. We can start looking at our Zul'Farrak on the next episode. We have to pick up Tranrak while we're in Stranglethorn Vale. So when we do that, I have this tribal leatherworking quest I can pick up too. I have to decide if I want which one I wanted to learn. So that's part of it. But we have to pick up Tranrak. I don't think I wanted tribal leatherworking. I think I wanted the other one. I think I was leaning towards the male leatherworking, the elemental dragon scale. I don't know. I'll have to decide that. That one's ready for turning. But anyway, when that will... I came too far over. I did not necessarily want to walk through these guys to get there. Just got a little off track with my mapping. But then, yeah, I can pick up Tranrek, and then we can take the boat over to Ratchet. On the way, we can go into Tabitha's task and pick up the Tiara of the Deep. Then once we have Tranrek picked up, when we get in town, we can pick up Scarab Shell's Troll Temple. Spider God, I'm not sure where we get that quest from. Do we already have it? Oh, we do. We have that. We have the Spider God quest already. And then Prophecy of Mosharu. Yikes. I already have Spider God and the Prophecy of Mosharu. Those two I already have. So when we pick up Tranrek and turn that in, I can check that off, and then I'll go back and get Scarab Shell's Troll Temper. We'll turn in Tabitha's task, and I'll get Tiara of the Deep. We'll be able to pick up Divinomatic Rod. That is a Alliance Quest Necrom's Medallion. We can't do that one. Gazrilla will go up and pick that up because there's no breadcrumb for the Horde to do that. And the rest is after the fact. So yeah, so I think we'll do that as part of our traveling tomorrow. And then all we'll really have to do once we get through that is to then run around and do the Ungoro Crater quest. So half of our episode will be travel. Half is going to be clearing out Ungoro Crater, hopefully finding a partner to help us defeat that evil queen or whatever she is. Okay, so I might pick up Tuga if we happen to see him. I'm a little worried because last time, you know, we went to get Tuga and like somebody saw it. There was like a rogue or something that started questing and they snatched him up. We had to wait a few minutes for a respawn. Luckily, they didn't go and complete the whole quest, so we just had to wait a few minutes. But whatever. I don't see him sitting right here, so... Because I guess that could hypothetically slow down that whole thing. If only one person, and I don't know that this is true, but I would guess it is, if only one person can have two at a time. There's Heart of the Wilds we gotta save. There's some gear that is useful that uses that. Alright, so we need 8 Thistleshrub, Gnarled Thistleshrub, and 8 Thistleshrub Root Shapers. The Root Shapers are these greenish tan ones, and the Gnarled ones are the red ones, the reddish green ones. And then we also need there's a third kind, they're called like a Dew Gatherer. That's what we need the Dew Gland from. I think we got it on our first drop last time, so based on the way RNG goes, that means it'll probably take like 100 drops for us instead. Just a little tip, brother. Brother. Hell yeah, brother. There's the Dew Collector right there. Oh, global cooldowns. But I mean, this isn't really too bad of a quest line with just 16 guys. Okay, what are we at here? We are at XP. We still need 60,000, 61,000 XP. I think we will definitely level up before we have completed this zone. Will we level up before we have to fight that final mission? That's a different story. Okay, what will we get from leveling up? Another percentage of lack of, like another 14% or whatever added on to resisting spell pushback for our healing spells. So I think we're at 28%. Yeah, so it'd go up to 42%, which is pretty good. Okay, the Dew Collector, I don't know where we're at with that. Okay, so hopefully we get lucky on a Dew Collector. We don't have to kill very many of these. We shall see. We did not get it that time. There's another one over there. It's been actually pretty quiet today. Maybe it's a little earlier than I normally play, but sure, there's been some people in chat smashing me for talking about baby shampoo or whatever. How dare you? Did you even really just say that? I just can't believe, like, the outrage that came from the people in chat about me saying, "Why are you washing your kid's hair?" That was surprising. I'm still hung up on it. I just... Like, I'm not surprised when it's like one or two people that are like, you know, not appreciating or not getting you or whatever, but the fact that there's so many people jumped on the "I'm a monster" train for asking that question. I mean, maybe I am. I had my first moment this week, and I don't want to get into the specifics of it because it's not appropriate for the show. But I had my first moment where I said something, and my son, my 14-year-old son, just like shook his head and like closed his eyes, like where... Now, of course I've embarrassed my kids before, but it was the first time I've experienced like one of these moments from my kids, from him specifically, where it was just like, oh my gosh, like where you just can't believe your dad said, like, not that you can't believe it, but just that like you so, like, you really think your dad is out of touch or whatever. Like, you really think your dad doesn't, your parent or whatever is just so off base. And I might embarrass my son, but that's usually intentional or I don't care. But this is one of these things where, like, I was saying something that I was perceiving in the world, something that I had opinion about, and he was like basically of the mind that I was like being extreme and ridiculous. And I was like, oh man. And I can just remember how many times I've had that same thought about my own parents. And then I was like, oh no. I'm getting there where I'm out of touch or whatever, or I'm up my own butthole enough that my kids are just like, no, man, like, no. So, yay, I've arrived. I don't know. Alright, we've got 6 out of the 8. We've killed 2 or 3 of these dew collectors with no luck so far. As predicted, our RNG would not be as good as it was on the Alliance. Never is. What if there's like a built-in, like, negative RNG factor for Horde? Because this seems to happen on like all my Horde characters. Like, the game just actively likes the Horde a little less. Okay, setting up a new base. Let's go. Another Root Shaper. With this guy, we will be halfway through the kills needed. Minus the dew collectors. I have not seen Tuga at all, so... That little bugger is... AWOL. Maybe someone has him right now. I know there was that person looking for him, and if they really took a long time... Oh, nice little root thing. Let's get another Root Shaper. Halfway done with the general kills. I think it's probably time for me to invest some resources in eating and drinking. I think I'll eat one of those ham steaks. Save them for a while. When a cow eats a pig, what is that? What does that say about life when a cow is eating a pig? This week for dinner, I'm gonna make a like a Indian food style roast where we do like some curried potatoes and chicken and put it with some chickpeas and rice. I'm gonna make we're gonna make some chicken, like grilled chicken, and just people can put it on a salad or put it on a bun for a little grilled chicken Sammy. What is this guy? He's a dew collector. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll make some burritos later in the week. Yep, that's where we're at in the show, where I'm talking about my week plans. We're entering that season of year for me where my personal life, where I'm getting closer and closer. I'm a mere 6 to 7 weeks away from having to make a decision. Okay, we got the laden dew gland, and we're just past... Oh, I aggroed another dew collector. I thought it was a root shaper. They look so close to each other. So I'm fighting an extra one, but I did get my dew gland already. So we just need 7 more kills after this guy. He's just casting Entangling Roots. At least it's not a totem. Okay. Got a raw black truffle out of that. Guess I'll just eat that real quick. Okay, let's get these other guys here. This one's so far away. Let's bring him into the fold. I think I'm going to keep this down because I think I can fight like one more. Nope. Okay, so this will be our 5th Gnarled. Gnarls Barkley over here. That's a thing. Okay, down to needing 6 kills. And then we are just looking for Tuga at that point. Tuga will be our last adventure of the day, if he's here. I really hope he is. So. Okay, running out of totem power. Just a few seconds of mana totem left, and another raw black truffle out of that guy. Alright, what do we have here? There is a root shaper there. That's a dew collector. That is a root shaper, okay. Set up a little shop there. I can pull a couple root shapers. That was nice. But we haven't had a lot of these big chunky crits today, so that's nice to get one of those. Okay. There's another one. Oh no. We have a warlock running through. I hope they're not looking for my Tuga. And if so, we will need... I'll be bummed if right here at the end, but I mean, they could just be passing through. Alright, let's get a little gnarled one again. I hate when I have to pull them from so far. Okay. After this guy, we will have one of each. That's a dew collector, but there's a gnarls. We've got plenty of gnarled around. Okay. Well, what do we got? What do we got? I mean, I guess... There we go. That's the dew collector. I don't want the dew collectors. We need a root shaper. I'm just gonna go toe-to-toe with this guy for a little bit and see. No buffs, no totems. Another dew collector. They're all over the place. I mean, not no buffs. I'm obviously using Wind Fury and Lightning Shield. I guess Lightning Shield is not really a buff per se. Oh, we got another Heart of the Wild. Alright, I need one more Root Shaper. And then we gotta find Tuga, who I have not seen. There's a Root Shaper right there. Okay, so I gotta be on the lookout for old Tuga. So after this kill... we're looking for the Tugs after this. Come on. Cool, we got a scroll of stamina. Alright, this is... so, a lot of people hate this Tortuga quest. This Tuga, quest. I don't hate it at all. I feel like, yeah, it's a very far escort. You are limited to really not being on your mount because he can't keep up, so you'll fail the quest that way. But other than that, he follows you around. It's very common. It's a common escort style in retail. They eventually went this way because stupid things won't make you fail. If you fail this, it's because you screwed up. And I like that. I like to have control over my escort. Oh. There he is. Okay, so there's the old Tuga. Perfect. So we can pick up old Tuga and start questing with him. I'm so lost. My wife Torta sent me out to fetch dinner and, I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. Let's read as we walk. And then he immediately gets into a fight. What an idiot. We'll read his quest text after this fight. We have 30 minutes. I don't know why I thought you had like 2 hours to get him. You have 30 minutes to get old Tuga across the desert. But yeah, like I have time. I can skin. I can heal. I can do whatever's needed. The only thing I think you should be able to do, if we're really going to be fair, is I think you should have the ability to heal your escort, whoever you're escorting. Okay, so just got to be careful as we walk that we are dragging him along in a way to where we don't fight unnecessary fights. It's not going to kill us if we do. I don't like that these hyenas like run across. This is about it. So we're going to do this quest, turn this one in up here across the way. Let's look at the rest of the quest of what he said. Would you be so kind as to lead me back to Torta? She's waiting for me just south of Steam-Wheedle Port. So we are going to cross the desert, fighting as few things as we can. It's just a walk on foot across the desert. That's why people hate this quest, is because it's so far. You're literally diagonally walking. You're walking as far as you can across the zone. But I think we're in a good shape. The only thing that's going to stop us from finishing this zone... dang it, I looked down for 2 seconds and pulled a hike. Is going to be if we have a hard time with that queen and we get no one to come do it with us. The final quest, I think it's called Pawn Captures Queen, and you're fighting this Gurabashi queen. Maybe we can get it done with some... again, kind of like the Paladin has that lay on hands. Quick use of reincarnation can sometimes help. But I mean, reincarnation also restores you with so little. If you look at the spellbook, yeah, 20% of your health and mana. Like, we need more I need Mo. But we're now down to 51,000, so we've gained 10,000 since the last time I checked it in. We have a couple to turn in right now. We're going to turn those in right now. And so between the three of them, we've been getting on par, I mean, just on average from turning in these quests, 4,000 XP. So we should get somewhere in the 10 to 20,000 range of XP just turning this in. Great. I have sand stuck in my toes. Can you help me find my dog? I am so looking forward to playing retail and playing these other quests. I just really can't wait. I truly can't. Oh, I got some scorpion scales. Alright, so we are not even quite a quarter of the way across the desert. So, yeah, the main reason I wanted to finish this too is because this is going to open up Sprinkle's quest for us to go across the desert. We might have one or two that we turn in. I believe we're getting a lot of quests done today. I should hopefully get a little bit more done on Feralis, but I just don't have a lot of time outside of this. This is my main gaming chunk of the day. I hope I'm going to get to a spot. I just don't foresee it over the next 7 weeks. I don't foresee anything easing up for me. So, not a lot I can do about that. There's just so much work to do, and less people to do it. But yeah, I hope that I'd like this show to continue to grow slowly, and hopefully as we hit more things, I will find it in, when I get more time, if I get a spot of peace, I'll get a surge of really increasing. I'd love to increase the production value on this show. I'd love to change some things up. I think it has room to grow and improve. Yeah. We will just see. I read this thing that was like, the vast majority of people that consider themselves like making their money off of content creation, like whether you're putting YouTube shorts or you're doing TikToks or whatever, putting yourself on Reels or or making YouTube videos like me, that I think the stat I saw was like more than 50% of people like that literally that consider it as not just that do it as a full-time job. They do nothing else. They put in 40 hours a week or whatever more doing it, make $15,000 a year or less. So that is insane. You can't do it. You just can't. You basically need you need to have a second job. Or whatever. I guess you could be like better, you could be good. Or do more than 40 hours a week. I don't know what the answer is. I know there's ways that I don't maximize what we can do on the show. I don't have a social media presence at all. I don't try and do anything in the shorts. There's ways I could really focus, but it's just so time intensive. And for me to really want to start doing all of that, and you get what you put into it, I 100% get that, but I just can't. I already work 50 to 60 hours a week. I can't, like when I get off the show, even though it's the weekend, and it's my day off today and tomorrow, I'm going to put 5 hours at least in today and tomorrow of work from home. There's no way. It just can't get all done if I don't. And then I work my 40 hours a week at work, and every night additionally, I work at least 2 hours when I come home, just to stay on top of everything. Maybe some of that could go down if I worked from home, because there is a lot of, as I've talked about before, there's a lot of waste and, you know, there's just little things like so that is something I'm going to consider in a couple months, shifting over, seeing if there's going to be any options for that. I know that they don't want that. You know, there's a lot of people that think that there's waste in that, but there's a good argument to be made for the waste that exists. You know, I was talking to somebody at work, and I had been at work for like 45 minutes. And by the time I woke up, took a shower, got ready, drove to work, you know, we're talking an hour and a half to 2 hours. I had been awake and preparing for and going to do work and all that stuff. And I had accomplished like one thing that was real towards my job. Like one little task. Because so much is, you know, people stopping you in the halls and saying hi and doing office gossip and talking about what's going to get talked about in an upcoming meeting. And it's all good in terms of relationship building. It's necessary. You have to invest in the people around you. And that means investing time. It's a big... I am a firm believer in that. However, what is your goal, you know? Is your goal to raise morale and to, as a leader, walking around, you know, building that camaraderie? It's vital when you need people to... Ultimately, you're going to need people to perform for you. So having a relationship that's genuine and putting it doesn't come cheap. Again, just like everything, you get what you put into it. So there's that. Or is my job what it should be on paper? None of that's written into my job. What's written into my job is the spreadsheets and the data and the math and blah, blah, blah that I run, and the logistical coordination I do. Like, that's all my contracted stuff. So, you know, whatever. I don't have an answer. Sorry, guys. Sorry for being boring. But we've got Torta here. You know, that's what happens when you travel with a turtle, and we've brought him to his wife, the abusive Torta. Brought Tuga. Torta, my love, I have returned at long last.
You have any idea how long I've been waiting here? And where's dinner? All that time gone and nothing to show for it?
My dearest Torta, I have been gone for so long. Finally, we are reunited. At long last, our love can blossom again.
Enough of the rambling, I am starving. Now get your dusty shell into that ocean and bring Mama some grub.
Then try it. Yes, Torta, whatever your heart desires.
Try not to get lost this time. So he couldn't find his way back on his own? Figures. Well, I guess you deserve something for your troubles.
Alright, so we can get some male cuffs. I have some nice blue ones. They are a tie, but better on armor, so that's not as good. And then we have just a nice, whatever, armored ring. Again, not worth it. So none of these are better than what I actually have. But 6,000 XP for that. That is worth it in its own. Right there. We didn't get a lot of fights. Nice, boring, long quest, but that was pretty cool. Alright, so we're walking over. There's this drama in chat. I don't know. Saturday morning. And we got this guy named Keith David. What's up with the people with, like, real names? We had whatever the other guy's name was. People are just... man, the gang is out today. Like the same dude that said he was going to do the shampoo, and then like 80,000 people, not 80,000, but like a good 5 or 6 people, then like roasted me for making the shampoo comment. Somebody is out there basically like criticizing that guy's guild, and like 8 people are like, it's there's a mob out right today. All right, Thistleshrub Valley. Let's turn it in.
They're that big, I might have to rethink my plan. But you did hold up your end of the bargain, so here's what I promised.
All right, so we yes, they're that big, sir. Oh. Having a lot of those moments today. All right, so Thistleshrub Valley is completed. 75 more silver. That's it. Not a lot to go on that one. And let's turn in the Thirsty Goblin as well. Hey guys, what's up? This is the one that's gonna build up to it.
Living out here in the desert is rough. I get so thirsty standing outside in this heat. Keep it real.
Please tell me you found the Dew Collectors.
Oh, wonderful. Give it here. Let me drink it.
It's sick. I mean, yeah, really, we are grabbing, what is it called? Thirsty Goblin. We're grabbing, like, liquid dew from monsters. And then, like, look what happens.
Black! This stuff tastes terrible. So much for that idea. Wait, what's that? Oh, I know. You think I shouldn't give up on this stuff. Well, okay then. I have an idea. Brilliant. Take this dew to my friend Sprinkle. She's an excellent chef. Tell her what we're up to here, and that we want to make it go down a little easier. I mean, if it's gonna taste that bad, it at least should have some kick to it. And I'm just not feeling it.
I'm just not feeling it. All right, so this is called In Good Taste. We're picking this one up. This is going to be a quick little walk and talk. I'm just not feeling it. We're going to go talk to old Sprinkle across the way here. So old Marin's up to it again, eh? What's this concoction made from?
Marin's a good guy, don't get me wrong. Just a little eccentric, I'd say. And of course, he needs my help yet again. When I was a kid, my sister used to do all the cooking. It was horrible. I could barely stomach some of her concoctions until I found what I like to call my secret ingredient. Add it to anything and wow, it tastes great. What is it, you ask? It's a mushroom called the violet tragon. If you want me to help you turn this horrid-tasting brew into something edible, head to the hinterlands and look for a small lake there. Oh, and remember, the violet tragon can only be found underwater.
All right, so that's our real mission. This is the last big one that we're going to have to travel for. There might be a little bit of traveling when we go to like the end of the quest or whatever for the bugs. I can't remember. There might be like one last little travel, but it's fine. All right, so this is pretty good. We are ready to rock and roll. Again, we're going to kick off the next episode with travel. I'm going to go ahead and actually let's sell. And we'll mess around in the auction house. We'll just look at all kinds of things next time. But now I'm ready to sell that thing too.
Welcome to Tanaris, adventurer. How can I be of service to you today?
I want to sell the
You
tender
don't look
wolf
like a
meats.
blacksmith to me,
I don't know.
but I know how looks can be deceiving.
Let's sell the Arthas's tears. Okay. All right. All right, we're ready to roll. I'm going to go ahead and hearth back to Orgrimmar, and that's it. So everyone, I appreciate you so much. I hope that you liked it. If you did like this video, like and subscribe and watch. You can continue the journey with me as we just keep doing every sinking thing in the game. You all rock. And, gosh, I'm a totally lucky dude to be sharing this journey with all of you. And I'll see you guys next time as we continue it on Lore of Warcraft.